Good morning again, folks. Today is Monday. It is the 28th day, I do believe, of August 2023. Bright and early, as you can see at the bottom, at 8:30 in the morning. A couple of things. I don't do this nearly enough, and I should, but I want to thank you guys. I do, because without your support, this month I was able to go see my cardiologist and my pulmonologist. And both of them, I haven't seen them for a while, and both of them demanded fealty, demanded a pound of flesh. The cardiologist has me scheduled for 5 appointments and 4 of them tests next month. And the pulmonologist wanted a CT scan. He made me do a stress test, he made me do a walking test, all that not a stress test, a breathing test, and a walking thing. I'm doing the stress test for the cardiologist next month. But without you guys, I wouldn't be able to do any of this. I was thinking that I was going to have to wait until next month to do the pulmonologist's CT scan, but thanks to you guys, I'm able to do that this week. So, if the hurricane doesn't interfere with that. So, honestly, thank you very much. Your help and your support makes this possible, whatever I do, for whatever worth it is, possible. And I don't thank you guys enough, and I should. Just know that I am very appreciative, and always have been. Let's talk about something else that's odd. My little blog, my little Nomadic Everyman blog, maybe I was averaging maybe about 240 views a day. I would have up days, I would have down days, but around 230, 240-ish, maybe. I don't know where it jumped up to 500. And then one day it jumped up to 1,200. And somebody on Twitter was saying, before, not even talking to me, was saying, oh my God, I'm getting all of these views all of a sudden on my website. It's really odd. And she said they were coming out of Singapore. I looked at my numbers. They were almost exactly the same. I have a higher baseline average than she did, but not by much. I think she did, he did, whoever. I don't know. I wish I could mention their name, but I can't remember their name on Twitter. I'm sorry. So I looked, and mine was from Singapore. And that was odd. Now, either there's some kind of thing going on in Singapore, and a bunch of people are now having access to websites they didn't have access to before, or it's something else. This morning I checked my website. Yesterday I had 580 views. So far this morning at 8:30, I already have 540. Just to give you an idea of how irregular that is, the entire month last month, I got just under 10,000. I almost did that yesterday. And without having checked already, well, here you can see, this is when it started. The 540 views is when it started. Then it jumped up all of a sudden to 1,200, then 15, then 16, 8,500. It could be nothing. Probably is nothing. Now, I can look at these stats, I think, if this is the right place to click. As you can see, all of it's coming out of other. I only got 213 views out of Google, 14 from BitChute, 11 from DuckDuckGo, Jay Paulson, I got 11. Penny for Your Thoughts, I got 4. Other was 14,000 fucking views. Now they're talking about the whole month. That's the whole month. So far it's at 14,000. But here's where it's interesting. It's all coming out of Chrome, or a lot of it's coming out of Chrome or mobile Safari. There's some Linux operating systems. Well, look at that. That's weird. Singapore is now down to 5,000 of those views. And the United States is almost 8,000. I don't know. Very odd. Who knows? Maybe I'm just all of a sudden clicking with people. I don't know. It just took me 15 years to click with people. I don't know. But whenever you see something like that, anybody will tell you, he deals with math and statistics and shit. When you see an anomaly like that, that's it's time to pay attention. Don't get me wrong. I'm not complaining about it. But it is discerning. The last time someone paid that much attention, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, they paid a whole bunch of attention to me, and they were scrubbing through my website. I was sued. I got a lawsuit. So who knows? Might be worth it. At least I thought it might be a good thing to pay attention to mention, just in case something odd were to happen. Speaking of something odd, and this is going to be the last thing we talk about. I got some stuff to do here. This is not what the odd thing I'm talking about, but there is a storm a brewing, according to CNN. And we know the thing has a name now. I don't even know what the fucking name is. I'll tell you here in a second. A dahlia. Sounds like some kind of fucking killer. It's going to be a category 3. By time it supposedly, by time it hits. By time it hits. I don't know what it is, but every fucking hurricane, for some goddamn reason, they always mention Tampa. We're always in the cone of death. It's moved a little bit eastward. Don't know. It should be interesting. This is 2 a.m. Tuesday or Wednesday. It's supposed to hit, make landfall just north of us. I hate to say this, but better them than me. But that's a fact. Yeah, that's that little dot's right at my house. That little dot is always like right on my. Well, yeah, it's almost right on my fucking house. So, I hate to put it that way, but and this is old. It's been updated since then. It's supposed to make landfall now as a Cat 3. And who knows? Everyone knows that when it hits this fucking water, anything's possible. And the water's warm. So, we just don't know. It might end up going all the way to fucking New Orleans again. Who knows? So if I am gone Wednesday morning, it's because my power's out. I just thought I'd let you know that. Got our fingers crossed. I wanted to show you here. It's been since the 11th since I have missed a day posting a video for you guys. That's been quite a run. Yeah, see, here's the 11th. I like to do a thing where I take my old archive and I count out the how many fucking videos I've made. I don't know how jerky this will be, how glitchy this will be, but this is a quick update on the Jacksonville shooting story. They have released video surveillance. Turns out he wasn't wearing any kind of bullet protection mask. He says he had fashioned a mask when he walked into the place. You don't fashion something that's going to protect you from fucking bullets. Unless it's like plate steel you get from a goddamn tank. That's not what he did. He covered up his face so you couldn't tell. It wasn't the patsy walking through that door. But just so we're clear, the mask he was wearing wasn't to protect him from COVID, and it wasn't to protect him from bullets being shot and hitting him in the face. It was to protect him from the video cameras. This is a guy, by the way, who sent, supposedly, his manifesto saying, I'm going to do this, to the fucking authorities. So it's not like he wore the mask so he could get away with it and then go back to his normal life. He had already confessed, quote unquote. So why was he wearing a mask? The other question is, what the fuck is this when it comes to the surveillance? Have a look at this.
Gathered surveillance footage, video footage from the Dollar General, which captured the shooter's rampage. I will share portions of that video right now. Again, out of respect for the victims' families, we are going to cut this video short. We will not be showing their loved ones and what happened to them inside the store. Rather, these video surveillance excerpts detail some of the shooter's movements outside and inside the Dollar General. As you'll see from the video footage, the shooter outfitted himself with a tactical vest, which he covered with a short-sleeved button-up shirt. He created a facial covering and donned gloves for his attack.
Why?
This investigation is ongoing, and I will provide you with additional information as is established and verified.
That's all they showed. And this, with the sunlight, him waddling in, and that's it. End of story. That's all they released.
Again, the video is rather short because...
Let me ask you a question.
This investigation is ongoing, and I will provide you with additional information as is established and verified.
This is him coming out, supposedly seeing cops and going back in. Why didn't they show us a camera footage of him walking up to the door? Waddling up to the door.
Again, the video is rather short because I don't think some of the things that are on there are appropriate for television.
There's got to be 30 cameras, 20 cameras at least inside that fucking store. And that's all we get? This whited out, super saturated, backlit image that you can't tell who this guy is or what he is. But one thing you can tell, dude is wearing a mask so you can't see his face. And gloves. Surgical gloves. That's all they've released. That's it. They release more. If there's a drive-by shooting, they release everything that you can see. Why is it that the only thing... Now, you know, he killed 3 people. That's awful. That's horrible. He was in that store for a little bit, which means he was walking around all over that fucking store. Why would it be inappropriate to release the fucking footage of him walking around inside that store not shooting anybody? Supposedly, he shot the people. He went back out to the front. The video we saw, a half a second clip of, and then went back inside, walked all the way back through the store. You know there were cameras that picked it up. And got in the office and shot himself. Took his gloves off, put the gloves on the gun, and then shot himself. Why would he be wearing fucking gloves? Why would he cover his fucking face? Why would they only show those two clips, one from behind and the other where he was super saturated from the sunlight from the outside walking in, and he was basically in silhouette? Why would they do that? There's only one answer. There's only one answer that fits all of that. When you remove the improbable, the only thing left is the impossible. And that's your answer. Doesn't make sense. I talked about this thing yesterday. The text to his father right before, yep, it's me doing it, doesn't make any sense. Why he would go to the fucking, if it's all about racism, why would he go to a historically black college, get on the campus, be told, oh, no, and then go back and get into his car? Why was he going there without his fucking weapons and his mask and his gloves and his vest? If he got suited up after the guard told him, no, you got to leave the campus, and then he goes back to the car, gets into the car, and goes someplace else to go on a rampage? I thought he was racially motivated. He's at a historically black college and university. Why the fuck would he do that? How much sense does that make? What was he doing there to start with? Did he want to apply? Did he want a job? What was the purpose of going to the historically black college and university if not only to make it seem like, oh, it was definitely racially motivated? Especially considering he was armed the way he was. He was apparently willing to do whatever it took. And this guy told him, nope, you got to go. And so he said, okay, I'll just teach you. I'll go someplace and shoot up some other place. Haha, that'll learn you. Doesn't make any sense. None of this makes any sense. None of it does. He sent a manifesto to his father, to the FBI, and to the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office, saying, yep, it's me. I'm the one who did it. Here you go. Here's my manifesto, before he went in there and did it. Why would he hide his fucking face to hide his identity? And why would he fucking wear gloves? To keep the fingerprints off the weapon. The only reason to wear the gloves to keep the fingerprints off the weapon is that's not the patsy. Somebody else's fucking fingerprints would be on that gun. That's the only possible reason. There's no other possible reason. It wasn't like he was worried about getting fucking gunshot residue on his hand because he'd already confessed. Why wear a fucking mask? I thought when I first heard it, okay, maybe he's got a ballistic mask like tactical guys use. It's possible. This guy says he fashioned one. Ergo, it wasn't a tactical mask. So why wear it? Especially after you've already convinced to the fucking local authorities and the fucking feds and your father via manifesto and by your text. All of which, by the way, can be fabricated. For the record, and in light of my 8,500 fucking views yesterday, I own no fucking firearms. I've never bought any fucking firearms. I've never purchased any fucking firearms. I've never wanted any fucking firearms. I don't know how to use a fucking firecracker and would be scared to blow my fingers off. So explosives aren't my fucking thing. And I damn sure don't know how to handle any goddamn chemical or biological shit. Just gonna toss that out there. case somebody's doing some research for the next potential fucking patsy. Ain't me, boys. I am a pacifist. This, let me show you something. These are my weapons of mass destruction. This is what I do. This is what I've done. I've done a lot of it. This is how I fight. And that's it. And that's the end of the story. And there's never going to be anything to add to that story, just in case somebody's thinking. Now, again, you're like, well, Scott, that's kind of paranoid, isn't it? Yeah. But you know what? We live in paranoid motherfucking times, don't we? So you got to do what you got to do. Again, thank you guys very much. I do appreciate it. I got to get some stuff ready today. I will make a video tomorrow and maybe later on this evening. But I guess I got to do that fucking nesting thing just in case. Grab some water and shit and stuff like that, dog food and cat food. Cross your fingers for me. And again, seriously, thank you guys very much for your support. I do appreciate it. It makes a world of difference. You have no idea. Have a good one. Bye-bye.